Hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials Basics. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class. Let's go ahead and come on up to our feet. All right, everybody. We start similar to each class. So if you've been here before, you know how it goes. Spinal cord breathing. So we're going to bring the feet in, toes pointing straight ahead. Think about standing up nice and tall out of the hips. And then I'm going to circle my arms around to start. I'm going to bring my palms together, my forearms and my elbows together. And now I'm going to think about bowing forward, tucking my hips under, bringing my chest and my head down. And now on the inhale, we're going to open. So you're going to breathe in, lift the chest, divide the arms, look up towards the sky. Keep strong in the midsection so you don't overarch the back. And then on the exhale, reverse. Blow the air out, tuck the chest under, bring the arms back in, bow the head forward. Now we're going to spend about another 30 to 45 seconds. Breathe in, open, circle through, and just find the rhythm that feels best for your body. You know, how far you want to arch back may differ from person to person, and emphasize that exhale, trying to really blow the air out nice and smooth. As much air as you can get out of your lungs without starting to feel dizzy. Breathe in nice and deep, lift and open. Exhale nice and smooth. So we're trying to oxygenate our body, really get a lot of good blood flow going, and also expel out that CO2. Get rid of that waste product that comes in through the lungs. Good. Last time. Breathe it all out. And breathe it all in. On this last inhale, just bring the arms out to the side, walk the feet out a little bit wider, and just kind of come down to a rest. All right, from here, just kind of emphasize being nice and heavy in that upper body, strong in the midsection, and we're just gonna keep the arms away from the body to start, making sure I don't hit my arms on the chair. And we'll start to tilt, looking over one side, looking over the other. Good. After a couple of rotations with the arms away from the body, now start to give a little bend in the arms. Allow them to bend, swing around, and just gently tap. Very good. So a lot of emphasis on warming up our spine today. Different names for this exercise. Diane's the one that told me the first, gates of heaven. Yep. And we're trying to coordinate that exhale so that as the arms tap against the body, we're blowing out. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello. Think about another 20 seconds here. Just allow those arms to be heavy.
Good,
Gently rotate
good.
through. Fantastic. Let's go a couple more side to side. And then as you come to a stop, I'm going to encourage you to try to slowly come to a stop. So continue to rotate. Arms can be away from the body. And then just imagine just kind of gradually kind of come back to a stop. Fantastic. From there, we're going to walk the feet in and we're going to go into a side stretch. So you're going to take one hand onto the hip, opposite hand, you're going to bring up to the shoulder. We kind of ease our way into the side stretch. So we're going to start by reaching across the body, giving a little bit of a rotation. And you can even pivot on that foot that you're rotating away from. Down and reach. As I reach across, I'm going to start to reach a little bit higher each time. So I reach about the level of my eyes and then about the level of my forehead. Until, if you choose, if it feels good for your body, then you start to go into that true side stretch. So we're going to reach straight up over the head. If you feel stable, turn your head so that you, peer up at that hand, bringing it down and up and across. Fantastic. A lot of times we feel stiffness in our low back. So we oftentimes will focus on that low back, but guess what? We got a lot of muscles and tissues that attach into that area. So the side stretch is one that can really help to loosen up the side of the body and give a little bit of a relief to the low back as well. Good job. Finish that last one. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So hand on the hip, opposite hand to that shoulder. And remember where we started, just reaching straight across with a little pivot on the foot that you're reaching away from. Very good. starting at that shoulder height and then gradually starting to reach up just a little bit higher. Chin level, eyes, ears, and nose, and then the forehead. And then this is an opportunity for you to just kind of meet your shoulder where you are. Some people don't quite have that ability to reach up to overhead. So just reach where it's comfortable with your body, always trying to kind of push that range just a little bit. If you are good to go all the way overhead, let's go ahead and do that now if you're not there already. Reaching up, turning your palm to the ceiling as you reach overhead, and follow the hand with your gaze. Couple more, down and across. Last one, down and across. Fantastic. All right, shake that out. Next, we're going to go into some swimmers. So feet are pointing straight ahead. Pull the belly button in, get a little bend in those knees. And now we're going to stay nice and tall. And we're doing our imaginary front stroke, front crawl. Reaching those arms back. Think about kind of bringing the elbow up. So you can imagine if you were in the water, right? We want to get that elbow up out of the water on that front crawl. Keep pulling that belly button in as you just very gently bow forward. Let's get about 3 more on each arm. Circling through those shoulders. Very good. Very nice. And then you're going to stand straight up. So no forward bow. And now we're just going to go backstroke. Circle one arm back and then that other arm back. Very nice. And just like with that side stretch, you kind of meet your body where you are. So maybe you can't quite reach up to overhead, but just mimic it best you can, up and back. Good. If you can reach up to overhead, then that's fantastic. Keep that range. And as I'm reaching here, I'm always thinking about opening through the hand as well. So as I reach my hand out, I spread from the fingertips, tip of the thumb to the tip of that little finger. Very good. Let's get one more each side. Open and back. Fantastic. All right. Just kind of step out those feet just a little bit, move them around. A little bit of side step. And now we're going to go hands on the hips for our hip circles. Last little bit of warm up because our first sequence is a little bit of a warm up in and of itself with some activation for the hips and lower body mostly. Very good. Go ahead and rotate the other direction. Shift those hips around, looking for any stiff areas. As you bring your hips forward, squeeze the glute on that trail leg. Rotating it back, bringing it forward, squeezing the glutes as you do so. All right, fantastic. Shake that out. Let's grab a little drink of water. All right, so on these next exercises, as you grab a drink, we are going to be doing some balance work. We're going to be doing an exercise. It's a little bit new to this class. I don't think we've done it yet. It's called walk the line. It's imagine you can walking on a tightrope forward and back. If your balance is a little unsteady, I recommend walking next to a wall while you do the walk the line exercise. All right, everybody. So the first thing we're going to do is working on some glute or hip extension. So I recommend standing next to a wall, or I'm going to balance here on the chair. You're going to stand nice and tall. And what we're going to do is you're going to point. Let's start on your right foot. You're going to point the foot forward, and you're going to lift the toes and glide the foot back, focusing to squeeze the glute. So point the toe, lift the foot up off the floor, and glide it straight back. All right, as you extend it back, make sure you don't overarch the back. So keep your shoulders stacked right over the hips. It doesn't have to be a big range, just extending back. And the toe points forward the whole time. So I point it forward, glide it back. 1 to 2 more. Reach, back, good. Reach and extend. Fantastic. Set that foot down, kind of just rock those hips just a little bit. And then we're going to go same thing, opposite side. So lifting up, and when you're ready, you're going to point the toe, lift the foot, glide it back, squeezing the glute. And if it helps you, if you have that free hand, you can rest the hand on the bum and think about squeezing the glute straight into your hand. Nice. Point, lift the toes, glide it back. So we give a lot of attention to the glutes. They're one of the biggest muscles in the body. And we want to use those muscles to take the strain off of our low back. So when our glutes become inactive, our low back muscles end up working a little bit harder. So 1 to 2 more. Point it forward, glide it back. Last one. Point it forward and glide it back. Good job. Set that down. We're going to go walk the line next. So this is where if you have a wall that you can walk next to, that's recommended. Otherwise, arms out to the side, and just imagine 1 foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe, heel to toe. Depending upon your space, you'll take about 3 to 5 steps forward, alternating legs, and then if you feel stable here, it's the same thing back. Now we go toe to heel, stepping back, toe to heel. Yep. Nice and smooth. This is our first of 3 rounds here. So you got plenty of time to kind of figure this out. I am stepping my foot like right in front of the other, going forward and then going back. Very good. Take about another 15 seconds here. Try to keep your shoulders stacked over your hips the whole time. I'm actively pulling my shoulders back to help hold myself upright. Very good. All right, go ahead and kind of come back to your starting position. Relax those arms for a second. And we're going to go from forward and back. Now we're going to do a little side shuffle. So you're going to just side step. Step it out, step it in, step it out, step it in. Very nice. Out and in, out and in. Good. We're working for between 40 and 60 seconds on each of these exercises here. And you can hold the hands in front of the body, or you can take them out to the side, whatever you prefer. There you go. As you're bowing slightly forward, midline in, and if it feels better on your back, you can also stand tall to this. You don't have to do that little forward bow. We call it like a defensive stance. If you ever played like middle school basketball or anything, or gym class, basketball was definitely not my sport. And a couple more steps, 2, 1, and make your way back to your start and then shake it out. Fantastic. Now, if you are someone that is like stable on their feet, confident with their body, if you have some of those shorter bands, you could utilize those shorter bands for these exercises. So I'll go ahead and demo with the bands this round. Again, this is going to make the balance a little bit more challenging. So, be smart if it's best for you. Otherwise, we're going to go back to those leg extensions. So you're going to stand next to your chair. If you are using the band, I'm just going to put it on just below my knees in a really light extension here. So standing tall, we're going to point the foot forward, extend that leg back, point it forward and extend it back. Go ahead and join me if you have it. First leg, second round. Point and glide. Good. Point and glide. Lift those toes up as you glide the foot back. Keep those shoulders stacked over the hips. Good. Couple more. Last one on this side. And relax. Good job. Little rock side to side of those hips. And then we'll get ready to do the same thing on the opposite side. Standing tall. And here we go. Point the foot forward. Lift the foot. Glide it back. Point, lift, and glide. Nice. Remember, what's the tendency to lift the ribs, arch the back, so ribs down. Fantastic. About 10 more seconds. Point forward, glide, forward, back. Let's get about 2 more. Fantastic. Alrighty, I'm not going to try to walk the line forward with that band. I'm going to step out of it if you are using it. Stand next to the wall as needed. And then we're just going to pretend we're walking on that tightrope. Arms out to the side. 2, 1. Here we go. Heel down, roll to the toe, and try to step 1 foot directly in front of the other. Really staying tall, shoulders back. Working on that balance. Walking the line forward, And then when you're ready, walk in the line backwards. If you don't feel stable to go backwards, turn around and keep walking forwards. Squeezing those shoulders back as we step. Just nice and controlled. Fantastic. Halfway through. Even though you have the arms out to the side, make sure you're not shrugging up into the ears. So shoulders down, palms forward. Very good. Couple more steps here. Nice and patient. Fantastic. And whenever you get back to your start, go ahead and step out of that, shake it out, and then our lateral step next. So step it out, step it in. All right, if you want to progress this one, you could go a crossover, where otherwise known as the grapevine. So you can cross one foot over, uncross, cross behind. If you don't feel stable for that, just stick with that lateral step. So lateral step or crossover. Very nice. Fantastic. There you go. Good. 20 seconds left. Anytime you need to shake out those arms, lower them down, bring them back up. Just holding those arms out to the side will make them fatigued. Fantastic. Make your way back to the start and shake it out. All right, let's grab a little drink. We're going to do one more time through. I'm going to show you a little bit different variation. Instead of that hip extension, we're going to do a lateral leg lift. And same idea, you could use that light band if you'd like. It would go in the same spot. I'm going to keep it off this round. All right, so something to balance on is recommended. Lift everything up. And now you can reach the toe. You can even cross it over the leg and then glide it to the side. Not pick my box. So start on the side. I'm going to cross it over, lift the toes and lift the foot, and I'm going to glide it to the side, looking to kind of fire that outer glute. Reach and extend. If you don't feel good with that crossover, just bring it back to meet the other one. Extend. I don't go super far, and I have my toe pointing straight ahead the whole time. There's a tendency to kind of turn the toe away, so keep it straight on, bring it down, and raise it out. Good. Make sure you're not dropping into that support hip, so continue to lift up, hold strong. Sometimes that support hip will be firing more than the other one. I know that's where I feel this side. Woo, couple more. They're both working. And last one. Go ahead and release there. All right, shake those guys out. And same thing other side. So get yourself into a good position to start. Lift everything up. Remember, we're like those marionette puppets lifting up towards the ceiling. And then either keeping the foot in, raising it out, or crossing it over and gliding it out. Toe point straight ahead the whole time. Reach. And lateral leg lift. Good. So we can bring it straight down, up, or cross it over. Very nice. Continue to lift up out of the hips. Over and across. Good. Couple more. And last one. Fantastic. All right, set that down. Final walk the line and lateral steps near the wall if that's where you feel best. Shoulders back and down, arms out to the side. And when you're ready, heel to toe, one foot in front of the other. Eyes up, find something straight ahead to focus on. Fantastic. There you go. Either turning it around to take it forward again, or on the backward steps, you're going to step the toe down first and then roll back to the heel. Toe to heel. Good. Toe to heel. Fantastic. One more time, forward and back. Eyes up, looking straight ahead, working that balance, and then stepping it back, toe to heel, toe to heel. Fantastic. All right, relax those arms down, shake it out. All we have left on this piece is our side step or crossover. 2, 1, whenever you're ready. So either step into the side, or if you'd like to grapevine it, cross it over, cross behind, cross in front, and then cross behind. Good. If that feels unstable, stick with that lateral step. Very good. We're gonna go about another 20 seconds here. Wonderful. Over and out. Over and out. Well done. And 2, 1. Take your way back to the start and shake everything out. Nice job. All right, we're gonna take a break off of our feet. Grab your water and let's come on down to the chair. We're gonna do a couple stretches seated. I say a couple, it'll probably be like 3 to 4 seated. Try to be specific for y'all. All right, sitting nice and tall. Once you get down here, we're gonna start with our ankle rolls. Pull one leg up and in, and let's roll that ankle around a few times. Try to get some snaps and clicks in there, waking all of those bones and ligaments up. And then switch directions when you're ready. Roll it around the other way. Fantastic. Set that foot down. Same thing, other side. Place the foot, grab that shin, and watch the posture of the upper body, right? Shoulders down out of the ears, sitting nice and tall. 3 to 5 one way, and 3 to 5 the other. Very good. I got some good pops and clicks going on this left ankle. And then once you finish that, we're going to set it down. And we're going to take it into our glute stretch next. You'll go back to your first leg. See if you can get that foot to hook onto the opposite knee. From there, sitting tall and hug that leg in. So you try to pull the leg across the body to open up this lateral thigh and hip area. Very good. Nice, smooth breathing. See if you can breathe in and out through the nose on these. And as you breathe in, try to feel not just your chest expand, but try to breathe all the way down into the belly. So belly expands. One more there. And release that leg. Same thing, other side. Sitting tall, grab that shin, bringing it around, and hug that leg in. Shoulders down out of the ears. Bring the focus to the breath, trying to breathe in and out the nose, trying to feel your stomach expand and depress as you breathe. Expanding on the inhale. Good, 2 more breaths. And last one. And go ahead and release that leg. Fantastic. From here, we're going to work into a little bit of a hamstring stretch from a seated position. So with your right foot planted, take your left and extend it out so that heels down, legs extended. And then from there, I'm kind of on the edge of my chair here, but I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm going to slide the hands down, reaching for the toes on that outstretched leg. You want to kind of drop the head down as well. And breathe. I feel this actually more in my low back than I do in my hamstring. So typically you're going to feel it wherever your body's holding the most tension here. It looks like I'm not the only one that feels a little bit of my low back on this one. Yep. Nothing wrong with that. And then make your way up. We're going to go same thing, other side. Walk your left leg in. Make adjustments in the chair as needed. And then now your right leg extends out. Sit tall before you bow forward. So I sit up out of my sit bones, shoulders back and down, and then just nice and gently slide the hands down the leg. You can tuck the head down, look down towards your thigh. Pulling that belly button in nice and smooth. I feel it in my back on this side as well. If you have more stiffness in your hamstring than you do in your low back from this position, that's where you'll feel it first. Go 1 to 2 more breaths here. Still trying to breathe in and out the nose. And make your way back up. All right, we're gonna do one final stretch from seated, and then we're gonna come back to our feet. So we're gonna do our seated twist. Take your left hand to your right thigh, sit up tall, and then you're gonna take your right hand to the right shoulder. Pull yourself around, so kind of use your arm to push into that leg, to pull around. And now as you peer over your right shoulder, circle that elbow up and around, up and back, looking to get that shoulder blade to move along the rib cage. Very good. Fantastic. Couple more here. And then go ahead and release. And we're going to go same thing other side. Pivot around, sitting tall. Now you'll take your right hand to your left thigh and left hand to the left shoulder. Peer over that left shoulder and circle the elbow from there. Couple little pops and clicks in the shoulder along the way sometimes. All right, everybody. We're getting ready for some squats with the choice of adding an overhead press to it. So a little bit of a more advanced movement today. Let's go ahead and take a drink. Your water's nearby, and then we'll make our way up to our feet to kind of warm up for this next series. And with each circuit, we're going to be squatting twice, pairing that with a bent over row. So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 2 rounds instead of our typical 3, because we're going to kind of build into it for the legs. So when you're ready, come back up to your feet. We're going to warm up our squat, whether you want to use a chair, if you have a countertop to hold on to, if you want to make your way to the doorway, somewhere that you can hold on with the upper body for our, we call it our squat sit. So you're going to place the feet about hip width apart. Turn one foot towards 11 o'clock. If you had a clock on the floor, other foot towards 1 o'clock. Support the upper body. And now you're going to hold on as you send those hips back. Push your knees wide, heels stay planted. Very good. Just come down as far as you can, keeping the heels and the whole foot in contact with the floor. And then you can use the arms as much as you need. If you don't feel like you need to use those arms to hold on, then reach them out in front of the body as you lower. Very good. We're going to go about 3 reps here. As you're coming up to standing, think about generating that force. Push your feet into the floor. Push, push, push. Push through those legs. That's where you generate that downward force to bring yourself up. Beautiful. From here, we're going to try to grab that foot for a quad stretch. So holding on to balance. And then one of our hardest stretches here. See if you can grab that foot and pulling that heel towards the glute. This is where you can tell me you make it look easy. That's where my automatic reply is, it's my job to make it look easy. So just do the best you can. What do they say? What's that Eleanor Roosevelt quote about comparison is the thief of joy. We steal our own joy sometimes when we compare ourselves to other people. So do the best you can for you. Go ahead and release that foot when you're ready. Same thing, other side. Before you just grab on, find that good posture. Lift everything up and then reach for that foot. Pulling that heel towards your glute. Fantastic. Doing the best you can here. If you can't quite grab the foot, you can also kind of stand in a stagger stance or just sit this one out or stand it out. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and release. Fantastic. All right, and before we jump into it, we want to open up the upper body a little bit more first. So I want you to mirror me. You're going to step your left foot forward, right foot back. Keep the ribs down. You're going to reach your right arm up best you can. Bend that elbow down. Reach around, try to grab that elbow, and then make sure both feet are securely planted here. And then if you're secure, you're going to bend to the side. And we're not on a tightrope anymore. I have my feet hip width apart. Very good. Bending to the side, coming straight up. Very good. About 3 to 5 times back and forth. Stretching out that side body and the upper arm. And then when you're ready, we'll bring it down and switch sides. This time your left foot steps back. Check the posture, ribs down, reach that left arm up, and then bend at the elbow. Head and neck position is key here. So lengthen through that head and neck, pull that chin in as you reach around to grab that arm. Very good. Think about squeezing the glute on that trail leg, both feet securely planted, and only if you feel stable into that side bend. Very nice. And release that arm. All right, fantastic. So, if you know the thruster, feel free if you want to start with some light weights. If squatting is pretty tough for you, you can follow me. I'm going to just pretend I have a weight in my hand. I'm going to make a fist. All right. And I'm going to be squatting to the chair. But if you feel secure in your squat, what it's going to look like if I had weight in my hand is I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to control down. I'm going to stand out of my squat and then push up to overhead. Sorry, I'm just cutting my head off in my mirror. Lowering down, stand and drive. I'm going to show it from the chair where I'm going to sit back into my chair, stand up, and then reach up to overhead. If anything's going on with your upper body, take out that overhead reach. Just focus on the squat, controlling down and stand. In between sides, we're going to be doing our bent over row. So bending forward, and we'll be doing that one arm row. I'm just demoing here, so you can join me or not. If you want a little bit of a break off of that bent over position, you can use your band and do a single arm seated row here like we did in class last week. So that would be an option. I'm going to be demoing the bent over version. All right, if there's no questions, we're going to start here in 15 seconds. Recommend holding the weight or making a fist with your non-dominant arm. That's usually the left for people. I'll be starting on the right to mirror you. All right, set the feet about hip width apart. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. So I'm going to sit back, non-working arm reaches out, stand, and press. Very good. Sitting back, control down, drive up, and push to overhead. Beautiful. Control, back, and up. Yes, generate that force through those legs to push up, ribs down if you're doing that overhead reach. Back, stand, and drive. Good. 1 to 2 more. We're going to go about 40 seconds on this side, so we've got 2 movements. Good. Last one. And rest when you're ready. Very good. We're going to make our way into that seated row with the band or that bent over row. Weight in the same side of the body. I'm going to place my feet about hip width apart. Support hand down, reaching forward. And here we go. Elbow nice and high. Reach and row. Shoulder down out of the ear, squeezing that shoulder blade in towards the spine. Find that nice smooth rhythm of the breathing. Pulling the belly button in to hold solid here as you row. Reach down, row through. Good. Let's get 2 more. Forward, up, and rest. Fantastic. Walk it in. We're going to go same thing, opposite side of the body. So we're going back to that squat or the sit stand. So set those feet about hip width apart. Hold the weight on the opposite side. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Heels planted, gradually sit back and then push through the legs, stand tall and choice to, if you choose, overhead reach. Good. Non-working arm reaches out to help keep that chest up. Drive through the feet, stand and press if you choose. Fantastic. As you lower, reach that arm out, sitting back, stand and drive. Good. A couple more. We're going to go about a total of 15 more seconds. So if you're moving faster than me, you might get 3 or 4. Up and drive. Nice. Control back. If you're sitting down to that chair, we're really trying not to plop down. Just slowly lower. Finish that rep and rest. Taking it to the bent over row, same side of the body. And seated row is always that option as well. Walk the feet back, pull the belly button in, and 2, 1. When you're ready, reaching down, elbow nice and high above the torso. Breathe in to reach. Exhale as you row. Elbow as high as you can. Trying to squeeze that shoulder blade in towards the spine. Breathe in to reach. Exhale to row. Depending upon the size of your weights, if you have relatively light weights, you can add to the strength of the movement by pausing in the top. So holding it against the torso for 2, 3 seconds. Good. 1 to 2 more. And rest. Fantastic. Walking in, let's get a drink. That's round 1. We're going to do it one more time through. Great work. Kind of roll those shoulders around. Shake it out. Please feel free, if you're most comfortable squatting in that chair, stick with that. I'm going to demo without the chair on this second round, and we're going to start here in 10 seconds. So recommend starting with that weight on your non-dominant arm, holding it up at the shoulder. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, and when you're ready, we're going to sink back, sending those hips back and down, keeping the chest tall. Option to press overhead as you stand. And we call it a thruster because the idea of the movement is that as you stand, you give a little thrust to the hips to help guide that weight to overhead. Good. Sinking down, stand and drive. Nice, Shirley. Reaching out, eyes up, chest up. Good. There you go, Diane. Push through. Beautiful. That overhead's looking solid. Let's get about 1 more here. Back and down, stand and drive. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Seated or bent over row, same arm. All right. Set those feet about hip width apart. Pull that belly button in. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Bent over row. Reach forward. Pull through. Once you know the movement, turn your gaze so you're looking straight down towards the floor, keeping that head and neck nice and neutral. Fantastic. Remember, you can add that little pause at the top, squeezing the shoulder blade in. Working on our postural muscles here. Help our posture to stay tall. Keep our shoulders back on our body. And 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Last set of squats for the day, everybody. So switching sides of the body if you are holding weight. Set those feet about hip width apart. Remember, we're going to have a little bit of that toe out. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Knees drive wide, sinking down. Stand, midline strong. Overhead press if you'd like. Good. Back and down, reaching. Push into the floor to drive up. Fantastic. Moving with control, encouraging that body to see what kind of range of motion you can keep practicing, keep maintaining, building that strength. Very good. Just under 10 seconds. I need 1 more solid rep here. Sinking down, standing tall, and drive. Wonderful. Finish that rep, and we've got our final bent over row. Time goes so fast when we're working here. I don't know if anybody else has that experience. Walk the feet back, pull that belly button in, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Reach down, pull through. Just have so much fun with y'all. Time goes flying by. It's always easier when you do it with other people. When it's just me looking at the clock, doesn't seem to go so fast. So even though we can't be here together, appreciate you here being here virtually. Hope you guys have the experience on the recording that it's almost like someone's actually there. And 2, 1, all done there. Woo! Set that down. Give yourself a little round of applause. And then let's just kind of rotate the torso a little bit. brought a big smile to my face. I had, before classes today, I had a little consult session with a longtime client. We meet up about once a month, and then I just kind of give him stuff on his own that he does. And when we finished stretching together, he's like, we missed something. I said, what do we miss? He's like, we missed the applause. So it made me smile. I was like, all right, applause and high five. So feet nice and wide, behind the back, stretch next, everybody. If you can't quite reach those hands, grab a towel and interlace the hands with a towel or a rope behind you. Extend those elbows as much as you can. Try not to arch that back. So tuck those ribs down, lifting up. You can either stay here or root down into those legs and gently bow forward, pulling that belly button in, looking down towards the floor. I'm watching y'all. There you go. Breathe into the back, and then when you're ready, making your way back up. Tucking under, release those hands. All right, if you have your broomstick around or your PVC stick, we're gonna grab that. And you wanna keep a light to moderate weight around as well. All righty. So let's go ahead, we're gonna open the shoulders. Nice long arms, your sticker band in front of the body, and then you're gonna bring it up to overhead without arching that back. So bringing it up and lowering it down. And as always, just go as far as you can. If you can't quite get it to overhead, that's totally okay. Ideally, over time, we'll be able to. Bringing it back and down one more time. And then you're either going to bring it behind the head or in front of the shoulders. If you can go behind the head, I'm going to come a little bit closer. I'm going to lower it down. And the wider the hands are, the easier it's going to be. The more you slide the hands in, the harder it's going to be, but the more it will open your chest. So chin in, neck long, lift up, open, and lower down. Good. Couple more. Lift and elevate and down. Last one. Up. And then instead of bringing it down behind, bring it down in front. Great job. All righty. From here, on this last piece, we're going to be doing a little bit of lifting off the ground, or you can do that forward bow of what we call the deadlift. But first, let's do a little toe touch. So hands on the thighs. I want you to sometimes be round on these. On this one, I want you to be long spine. So pull your belly button in, just a little bend in the knees, and then I'm bowing forward, sending my hips back, sliding the hands down the thighs, looking down towards the floor as you do so. And just go as far enough here that you don't have any strain in the back. Back is nice and flat. And then I'm going to make my way back up, pushing my legs into the ground, bringing my hands back up those legs, and rolling those shoulders back and down. Very good. Let's go one more time. Standing up nice and tall out of the hips. Belly button pulled in. Send those hips back as you slide the hands down. Bowing forward. Very good. And smooth the stand. Beautiful. All right. So depending upon your range of motion there, if it's tough for you to get much past the mid shin before you feel some tension, if you choose to do what we call the deadlift, I recommend to go about a similar height. Bring your hands to that similar height. Don't feel like you have to overreach. Sometimes that puts a little strain on the back. So with weights or without weights, go ahead and pick them up. Toes pointing straight ahead, shoulders back and down. And 2, 1, here we go. Bowing forward and standing tall. We're going to work for 30 seconds here. Shoulders back and down. I'm intentionally keeping those weights really close to the side of my body. So I'm activating my upper body to keep it close. I don't want them to swing wide. And squeeze the glutes to stand. Very nice. Bowing forward, long spine and straight up. Let's get about 2 more. Over. And stand. You want to try to feel the hamstrings here, the back part of the thighs as you bow forward. Last one. Standing tall. Very good. You're going to set one weight down if you were holding 2. From here, choose one weight to hold. You're going to hold it in your left hand. And as you pick it up, we're going to make sure the shoulder's not forward. So set that shoulder back, turn the palm slightly forward. And then when you're ready, join me with a little march here. So uneven farmer's carry, farmer's march. With the weight on one side of the body, we're trying to work that counterbalance. So we don't want it pulling us down. We want to stay nice and tall. And we want to avoid that slouch the shoulders. So think about how tall can I stand? Palm forward. Good. Another 10 seconds here. And then guess what? We're going to switch hands. 2, 1, and rest. Switch hands. And we're going to go right to it. Shoulder back and down, palm slightly forward. Working that counterbalance. Very good. Breathe. And as you lift the knee, lift the foot and toes, right? We're practicing to prevent against trips and falls. So we don't want to have those toes drooping down. 2, 1, and rest. Set that weight down. And now we're going to practice our cross crawl pattern. Straight arm, straight leg. You can either just cross over and touch the leg, or if you feel okay to go onto one leg balance, you'll lift the leg up, hand to the opposite thigh. Good. Right side of the brain talking to the left side of the brain. Left side talking to the right side. Scratch your belly, pat your head. Just joking. Good. Couple more on each side. Very nice. Last one. And rest. Fantastic. Grab a drink. We're going to do that twice more. Woo. We got a little bit of a late start talking in the beginning, so if anyone's got to run, I understand. Make sure you do a couple of those cool down stretches like we warmed up with from the chair. All right. Otherwise, we're going to go back to those deadlifts or the good morning. And I'm going to show the good morning this round. If you want to hold a light weight, you can up at the chest. Movement pattern is the same from there. Toes straight ahead, little bend in those knees, and then when you're ready, pulling that belly button in, bowing forward, and standing tall. So you can stick with those deadlifts if you'd like, or join me for the good morning. Bowing forward, squeeze the glutes as you stand. Very nice. Shoulders down, standing smooth. Good. Chin in as you look down, and then try to find that spot straight ahead that you focus on as you stand. Over and up. Good. Couple more. Bracing that midline as you bow forward. And last one. Very good. We're going into that uneven farmer's carry next, starting with the weight in your left hand. Going to pick up the weight, turn that palm forward, set that shoulder back, and when you're ready, we're going 30 seconds on each hand. You can march in place, or if you want to move around your space, there you go. Keeping yourself as level as possible. And this is one that you can kind of challenge yourself. If you have a moderate weight to hold, you can hold a little bit heavier weight. We've got 10 seconds left. Keep breathing, lifting those legs and feet and toes, and rest. Good job. We're just going to switch hands. Same thing, other side. Roll those shoulders back. Turn that palm slightly forward. And when you're ready, back to that march. Think shoulders stacked over the hips. I know we have that tendency to kind of start to pull us forward. So staying back and up. Eyes up, chest up. Don't forget to smile. Especially when we get towards the end, you want to keep reinforcing that positive relationship with fitness. 2, 1, rest. All right, the cross crawl. So you can stick with the straight arm, straight leg. If you'd like to advance it, it's going to be the elbow towards the opposite knee. This requires more stability, so feel free to stick with the first round or progress it. We're going to go 30 seconds here, and then we take our rest. This has been a long one today, a little bit longer than I expected. So if you feel like your body is done after this round, please take a seat. I'm going to take you through one more round before our cool down stretches. But, meet your body where it's at. Keep lifting everything up. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, final rest break. And then we'll finish with one more round. Grab a little drink. All right, we're going to start in 10 seconds. I'm going to stick with that good morning. You're welcome to stick with that deadlift if that's what your body likes. Belly button pulled in, and here we go. Gently bow forward, looking down. Squeeze the glutes as you stand tall. Yeah. Keep those shoulders down out of the ears. Long spine as you bow. So think about staying as tall as you can. Bowing forward, standing tall. Say hello to those hamstrings. Fantastic. One or two more. Last one. And go ahead and rest when you finish that rep. We're going to get ready for our farmer's march. Weight in your left hand. So grab that weight, palm forward, shoulder back. Whenever you're ready, marching it out here. Knees up, toes up. Smile. Fantastic. You can stay stationary or move it around. Looking to keep those hips nice and level as you step. Fantastic job. 10 seconds left. 2, 1, rest, and switching hands. Taking that weight to the opposite hand. Roll that shoulder back. We're almost there. Stepping it out. Just the cross crawl after this. And those of you seated in the chair, I'm going to show you how you can do the seated cross crawl when we get there. 10 more seconds on the march. Keep it stepping. And 3, 2, 1, rest there. If you're standing, remember we can go this way like we started. If you want the harder version standing, it's the behind the back cross crawl, okay? Or join me in the chair and begin. In the chair, we're gonna go hand behind the head, and now we'll go elbow towards the opposite knee, hand behind the head. Very good. 30 seconds total, whichever version you'd like here. And even seated, just bring the leg as close as you can. It's okay if you can't quite make contact. It's the intent coming from one side to the other. It's going to help the brain to fire. Let's get about one more on each side. Nice. And rest. Woo! High fives. Great work. All right. Let's go ahead, grab your water, take a seat. Let's do a couple stretches to cool it down. Nice work today, everybody. Okay. All right, I want to get a little bit more rotational work in, a little bit more stretching for the spine. If you can take your right foot, cross it over the left, and then we're going to kind of use that leg to pull. And depending upon the chair that you have, if you have like kind of something that you can hold onto on the chair, or you can just kind of push into the seat. And now we're going to rotate around, peering over that shoulder. So very similar to when we do those shoulder rolls, but I'm just taking the shoulder part out of it so you can focus on some gentle twisting through the spine. Sitting as tall as you can, turn the head as well. Just gently peer over that shoulder. Let's get about 3 more breaths here. See if you can breathe in and out the nose. Sending the air into the belly. And release when you're ready. Bring that leg down. Shift around the other way, crossing your left leg over the right. And then using that left hand, to kind of pull around. Right hand pulls into the thigh. Turn the head, peering over that left shoulder. And breathe here. Let's get about 3 more breaths, trying to expand the abdomen as you breathe in. And release. Go ahead and come up out of that. All right, and then final one. Put the feet flat on the ground, hands on the legs, pull the belly button in. You're just going to very gently round down, stretching out that low back just a bit. Use your hands to determine how far down you go. Tuck the chin into your chest and look between the legs as you lower. We're not super far here, right? Just enough to feel a gentle stretch in the back. And as you breathe in, try to expand the back of the rib cage. Send the air to the back. 1 to 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, gradually make your way back up. Woo! Find something straight ahead to focus on. Ah, nice deep breaths. Fantastic work today, everybody. Anything else that your body might be asking for? You could go to the wall, open up the chest and shoulders a little bit in the doorway today, right? You can roll the head around. You know, we could spend a whole hour stretching, but we want to keep ourselves strong and mobile. So there's lots of different things to target. But listen to your body outside of classes. Try to give it some love and care, and look forward to seeing you next time.